Welcome to our math technical videos. This video will be an overview of the student profile and workspace. From the student log and the student intake, select the student that you want to detail into by selecting the edit icon. From here, you'll see the individual student's profile and workspace. So on the top, you'll see the student CPL status tracker. We talk more in depth on what each of these refers to in the video about the student log overview. So please watch that if you have any questions about these status bars. The student information table has all of the student specific information from their education planning, has their first last name, email, student ID, phone number, their CPL type, learning mode, if they're part of the military, the branch, and then really important information here is their program of study, program goals, and transfer destination. Being involved in CPL, you know that there's a lot of different considerations when it comes to what students can be awarded CPL. More in depth, right, than anyone's history in terms of their learning, it's important to recognize if it's applicable to their program, if it's applicable to their transfer destination, and if it's applicable to those program goals that they have. So having this information can be very helpful when it comes to evaluating what CPL this person is eligible for. In the documents, you'll see any documents that were uploaded. You can add any more. You can download the current documents there or delete them if they're not applicable. You can add or view any notes concerning the student plan, and this notification table refers to anything down below in the eligible credits table that is somewhat pending approval or any information on their CPL there. Scrolling down to the eligible credits table, it's a whole nother section, and this is specifically related to their CPL. You may have different people working on different portions of this. Someone at your college may be in charge of going in and updating all of the student information, while it may be a different person who evaluates and reviews the eligible credits table. This specific student has a military background, and that is why we see the eligible credits table looking like it does. The first portion here we'll see is the default area E credit. So based on this school, they award their area E credit specifically to college courses. So associated with these college courses, this lines up with their area E credit, and these students will receive credits, units for their basic training that they performed in the military. Every school is a little bit different with this, and with upcoming changes to policy, you may see different things here. But if your student is eligible for that Area E credit, you can populate that here. Anyone who has the CPL type of military will see that default area credit populated here. This can be updated by your ambassador in the ambassadors module to make sure that that matches what it looks like at your college. Scrolling down a little bit more, you'll see all of the credit recommendations along with any exhibits that are associated with it. This information all comes from the student's joint services transcript and the learning that they had when in the military. There are a few different buttons you'll see in the eligible credits table. The far left to view the CPL plan. This can be a great form to send to A&R once your overview is complete, once your analysis is complete of these credits. It can be a great one for A&R. It can be a great one to send either to your counselor or the student for verification and overview what the student ended up being eligible for and what is going to be applied to their plan. This View JST button will help you download that JST. You can add or remove an ACE credit recommendation depending on if you needed to add one that wasn't uploaded from your JST, or if you wanted to do it manually, you can do that here. If the student had a different type of CPL that is not coming from a JST, you can add or remove a map exhibit, whether that's industry credential, credit by exam, you can add that here. And if you don't quite have that map exhibit created yet, you can follow this button here, which will help you create that new map exhibit. Getting down into this student's plan here, we have our action dropdowns where you can take action to articulate credit recommendations as a course, area, elective. You can combine 2 or more credit recommendations to associate them with a course, area, or elective, or you can select those credit recommendations to be not applicable. When it comes to the type, we'll see here we've got default area E credit. Scrolling down, there's an articulation made for this credit recommendation, and you can see here it's articulated with a course. So the different types you might see are course, area, elective, or this default area E credit if they're eligible for that. Then it'll show you the status. So that is going to be what stage it's in. So for this articulation in particular, it's in the faculty stage, waiting for approval from the discipline expert. You may see this as implemented if it's already been approved, or if it's in the articulation officer stage, you'll see that there as well. The credit recommendations, followed by if there's an associated college course, you'll see that here. So this credit recommendation, 3 hours in computer applications, is associated with CIS 93. Followed by the links to the exhibits, you can open them up to detail into the ACE military guide exhibit information. To the right of that, you'll see the source column, and this one specifically is coming from ACE. You may have map exhibits here, so that might be a source, or you have that DD214 or JST source for your default credit. This level here refers to the level on the JST. So on the JST, it may give you that it is an upper division, lower division, or vocational level, and that is what this refers to here. These potential credits are coming from the credit recommendation, so 3 hours in computer applications. Credits in review, 3 hours. This is going to be the 3 units from CIS 93, the course. Once this articulation goes all the way through, and if this is approved, you'll notice that it'll say 3 hours in the applied credits column. And then lastly, you'll only see this marked as transcribed if the student tracker is marked transcribed. So if that marker is checked, anything that's in the applied column will then fall into the transcribed units column. In order to finish this tracker number 3 analysis complete, all of these red question marks will need to be acted on. So whether that's by taking action through these articulations, or for the student, if it's not applicable to their degree or transfer destination, you can do that here as well. Down at the bottom, you'll be able to see the totals for potential credits, credits in review, applied credits, and transcribed. For any questions that come up here, please feel free to use the help chat in the bottom right to reach out to us. We'd be happy to help.